Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Golden Ratio podcast. I am Jen, GR Mom, joined as always by GR Dad.
Hi.
How's it going, GR Dad?
Good.
Sorry, we're podcasting a little late this week. We've been tired.
It's not live anyway.
I was so tired that I took a nap this afternoon, which is a thing I do not do.
It's like a red letter day.
We went out and we got a sandwich for lunch, and I was like, we got in the house and I was like, do not speak to me. The best favor you can do is not to speak to me. I am going to sleep. And I got into bed and I slept for 3 hours.
No. You said it in a friendly way.
I tried. I was not feeling friendly in my brain. I was feeling dead.
It was very clear.
Yeah. As I was falling asleep, I was like, maybe I have COVID. And then I was like, no, I just have not been sleeping.
You know what shows how tired you were? That didn't keep you up.
I was like, nothing I can do about it if I do.
No, you're very encouraging of my naps, but you usually don't take naps.
Yeah, it's just, I feel crappy. In fact, I got up from the nap and I came downstairs to get some shampoo for my hair that had come from Amazon.
Yeah.
And Jared Dad was like, oh, you're up high. And he came over to give me a hug. And I was like, I need some space.
I wasn't necessarily going to give you a hug, but
don't touch me.
That plan could have developed.
But then I was fine. After I took a shower, I was fine. Anyway, thank you for your patience. The cocktail of the week is a cocktail shared with us by our friend Jen Coleslaw. And I've sent a message to her on Twitter asking if I can use it as the cocktail of the week. And I literally just got a message back from her saying it was okay.
Would she say, hell no, and don't mention my name on the air? I guess we're not live, so this could all be edited out.
Well, like she's like, oh, here's this cocktail that I've made. And I was like, that sounds delicious. And so I made it tonight and it is delicious. But I didn't want to be like, oh, it's like a kind of personal cocktail that like she and her husband have. And she doesn't want to broadcast, maybe. Anyway, she just said it was fine. So the cocktail of the week is they called Volcano. So it is pineapple juice, vodka, fresh lime juice, and ginger ale. So it's kind of like a Moscow Mule, but tropical.
Better.
Is delish. So she just told me the ingredients. So I did 3 ounces of pineapple juice, 1.5 ounces of vodka, juice from half a lemon. I just cut a lemon in half. And then I put it in a Moscow Mule, like a copper mug, topped it off with hibiscus ginger beer, which she also had recommended.
Wow. Is that part of that ginger beer that we have, those 6 and 4 packs?
Bob Cost, is that what it's called? I know. Bruce Cost. Hibiscus ginger beer. So I got a whole bunch of like different flavored ginger beers from Bruce Cost. They make a regular one. Dear Dad, get yourself a mask. I cannot deal with the slow-mo set down of the mug to not make a sound. Masks make perfect coasters. Oh, look at that. Thank you for saving my sanity.
One of them's pomegranate.
There's a pomegranate?
That's real good.
Blood orange was pretty tasty.
Yep. I had a lemon one.
Blood orange Meyer lemon, I guess is what it is.
Oh, well.
It was good. I made a different cocktail that was going to be the cocktail of the week. I was like, what am I going to make? I threw some stuff together. You called it, we'll have 2 cocktails of the week, which is, this isn't the one we're drinking now. You named it the Voodoo Tail.
Yeah.
Good name.
Which, I tried some other names that have all been taken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Voodoo Tail, gin, blood orange, Meyer lemon, ginger beer, and then I used like some orange juice and some lemon juice, and then simple syrup. So simple syrup, orange juice, lemon juice, a little bit of each, like 1/2 ounce of orange juice, 1/2 ounce of lemon juice.
What was the base?
Gin.
Liquor? Gin, yeah.
You said you wanted something with gin.
Yeah, it was good.
So gin, a little bit of orange juice, lemon juice, like, ounce of simple syrup, and then the ginger beer. So it was sweet, but tasty,
it's
interesting.
Summery.
Yeah, summery.
It's good.
So that's the Voodoo Tail, and then this is the Volcano from our friend Jen Coleslaw. Ginger beer, vodka,
bonus
pineapple juice.
Drink of the week.
Very good drinks. So anyway, there we go. Ready for dog updates?
I am ready. I'm braced. My ears are open. I am receptive.
We got no news. So Voodoo, he has had all of his, stuff sent out for culturing, and the orthopedic surgeon had hoped that we would get some of the results back yesterday because they were culturing his joint fluid. And she actually called us last night at like 6:30, and she's like, I just wanted you to know, like, we don't have the results yet. because I'm sure you're curious. She's wonderful. Like, she's really great to talk to and very thorough. And so now we have a holiday weekend, so we probably won't get any results until Tuesday.
But we haven't updated people on the fact that he hasn't had surgery.
Did we not?
No, I think the last podcast was all he's going to have surgery. He's scheduled for surgery. We're bringing him in for surgery.
Oh, that's right, because it was supposed to be Tuesday this week.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
crap.
It's been on
Okay.
Twitter and stuff.
Jeez.
Some people know, but not everybody knows.
All right, let's go back. We were supposed to have surgery on Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah. I brought him in.
We
for
brought him
surgery.
in, dropped him off. They did kind of the pre-surgery blood work, and he is anemic, so one of his red blood cell counts is low.
Oh.
Could you move your cord out from under the thing? I just want you to put the mug on the counter like a normal
It's
person.
not a video. It's just an audio. Nobody can tell. Who's going to know?
Me.
Who's going to know?
Me.
Who besides you? Who's going to know?
I matter more than everybody else.
Well, yes. I have to say that.
So anyway, yeah. So his red blood cell count was low, and kind of had been low. And they redid the test like 3 times to make sure it was actually low, and it was. And so they're like, so something is going on to make him anemic like this, and we don't really know what it is. Could be a tick-borne disease.
Stupid ticks.
Ticks have brought us much pain and sorrow.
Yeah.
Poor boyfriend Riley with his
Kidney
Lyme nephritis.
problems,
And I would say the majority of the dogs that we have brought in have had some kind of tick disease, or Lichia is really common, or have a positive Lyme test. I don't know that we ever did a Lyme test on Voods because getting his seizures under control was so much more important, and we don't have Lyme disease in the Keys, so it's not a thing that they naturally test for down there.
Yeah.
But there's she mentioned Rocky Mountain spotted fever a couple times, so they're especially concerned because, you know, obviously this blood test is wrong, but also both of his knees are swollen, and there's kind of only signs of a partial tear of his cruciate ligament on the left. So it's like, why is his other knee swollen?
Mm-hmm.
That you do get swollen joints with a lot of tick-borne diseases. And he also has some pain in his spine, which we don't really understand, though that's a symptom of a different thing that this might be, which sounds to me as a layperson kind of like a dog version of rheumatoid arthritis. So it's like an immune response that attacks the joints. So we just don't know. We need to figure it out. And so they don't want to do surgery, obviously, if there's something wrong. You don't want to risk them being under anesthetic. And like if it's a tick thing that's causing the joint problems, you want to resolve that. And you know, they still would have to fix the cruciate ligament if it has a tear, and it definitely needs to be fixed. Like, he's having a lot of problems with that leg, but we need to figure all the rest of this out first. So, they've sent off his blood work, and then as I started with, we don't have any results back. She had said a week, and so it should be the middle of next week that we find out, and then get him into an internist. The orthopedic surgeon's wife is an internist, and she's like, I don't want to push her on you, but she probably could get you in. If you can't find an appointment, let me know. And I was like, you're doing me a favor.
Handy connection to have,
actually. Your wife. So we should hopefully be able to get him in pretty quickly. Our plan had been to go back to the Keys on Sunday or Monday this week, and
that ain't happening.
That's not happening, partially because of this with Voods, and partially because I need some more physical therapy, because someday my butt won't hurt, but today is not that day. My physical therapist has been on vacation, so we're going to stay here a couple more weeks so I can get some physical therapy.
I'll say it again, you are a saint for not breaking stuff every day with your butt hurting.
Oh, it drives me
If my
crazy.
butt hurt every day, I'd be intolerable to be around.
It hurts to sit down. It is a real
You're nice to be around.
disruptive part of life, but
Ugh.
hopefully it feels actually better today. It's not all better, but today seems better than
Yeah, but you're
it
not
has been.
being able to run is just a freaking terrible
It's
situation.
terrible. I saw my orthopedic surgeon I saw on Monday, and I was like, yeah, he's like, is it better? And I was like, no, it's not better. And he's like, well, nothing else we can do. Hopefully it'll keep getting better. Because I got these injections, and they said 8 weeks, and there's 2 injections, and I was sort of hoping 8 weeks from the first injection, which would be like
Now.
Yeah, basically Monday. And maybe it's 8 weeks from the second injection, and then some literature says 8 to 12 weeks. And so, but he's like, but after it's been 6 weeks since the second shot, which is Monday, You can probably start running again then, but I'm going to wait for the physical therapist to say that that's okay.
Because he was more conservative about not running than the doctor in the first place, right?
But he's very good, and some stuff he does seems like it's maybe helping. So, it may just be I've got to wait it out, but...
You are a saint. I will repeat it. The level of patience and restraint you are showing is... I'm amazed.
Thank you.
I would be intolerable to myself.
I feel intolerable in my head sometimes. But anyway, we're...
Doing a good job.
I need to stick around for a couple weeks for that. Dad's mask that I forced him to use as a coaster is sticking to the cup.
It's frozen. It's frozen to the cup. It's a copper cup. It freezes.
Would you just put the copper cup directly on the glass and not worry about the banging and not do it like sloth slow?
I'm going to go with this.
Okay. Hang on, I need a drink.
I'm just trying not to slurp. That was last week's problem. This week has a new problem, but not the same old problem. So different problem.
So let's see. That's update on
Boots.
both.
Well, Boots came home and he's shaved in all weird spots. There's patches missing. You can see his skin all over the place.
Yeah, they did both. So they took joint fluid out of both of his knees and then one of his ankles to kind of see if there's infection in there, and so there's shaved patches on each of those.
He was just kind of beside himself yesterday. He was just out of it, like much more so than
2
before.
days on Wednesday.
Yeah, we had to have the harness on him, right?
Yeah, he had a really hard time afterwards.
He was not getting neither his butt end nor his front end up real well, so the harness was easy. We just pick him up like a suitcase.
Guac is laying on the ground right now, and he's got his face turned around exorcist style, rubbing it on the hardwood floor.
Like it's the grass?
Yeah, and then one of his back legs keeps sticking up as he does it.
He's a very weird dude.
Man.
He remains weird. But anyway, but Voods now is back to his normal self, and he's playing around with Guac, and of course his normal self is probably hurting the ACL more, but it's nice to see him in a better mood. He was real droopy after leaving the vet's office.
Yeah. I was very worried about him on Wednesday, like the day after, because he couldn't get himself up. But and the orthopedic surgeon was like, "That's weird. He shouldn't be like that." But yesterday he was pretty much back to normal on Thursday. So.
He's already chewing stuff he's not supposed to chew. So.
Yeah.
And he snuck up the stairs. I went down in the basement for 10 seconds and closed the door so he doesn't fall down the stairs into the basement, which he's wont to do since he's a little Velcro-y sometimes. I get back upstairs. And I'm counting dogs. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I walk the circuit. I look outside. There's no Vood. There's no Vood. He's not in the kitchen. He's not splayed out somewhere. So I'm like, oh, no. So I start walking up the stairs to the second floor. And I hear chompings. Chewing. Wet, sloppy chewing. And I taped this, actually, where he's in my office eating a sock. Inspired by Vink.
Yep.
But much more diligent about it. Like in 10 seconds, he'd eaten the toe off a sock. No, he'd gone up the stairs. You're supposed to have a busted ACL, big man. Mm-hmm. Up the stairs, and then found a sock and started chomping.
Classic Foods move.
So sneaky. So sneaky.
Anyway, that's the Foods update. So hopefully we'll have more news next week. All the other dogs are fine.
Same. Guac apparently is possessed by some kind of demon, but that's normal. Mm-hmm. He's had that before.
Yep. Hops is doing a ton better. Got the sleeve off. Pretty much healed up. There's just a couple little scabs on there.
Brody was freaked out yesterday because we had bad thunderstorms.
Oh, poor boy.
Poor guy didn't know what to do with himself.
4th of July. I've got plans. We're just going to hang out in the basement. We're going to watch like 10 episodes of NCIS.
Yeah.
And real loud.
So there's no good like earmuffs for dogs, right? The ears don't fit human ear headphones, right? You can't really block the ears to any effective level.
Yeah, I think there's like versions of them, but
yeah,
he'd be distressed in that. The Thunder shirt doesn't do a ton for him.
No.
So we just kind of have to deal with it. But at least it has an end point, right? It's not like, oh, there's lines of storms that pass through all night. Like it stops
on the 4th, we may give him a little bit of chemical assistance.
Extra medicines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we know it's gonna we know there's gonna be bangs.
Yeah. So that's the dog updates. The taste of the keys for this week is that we got a hurricane on the way, and we're not there, which makes me crazy. It's not going to, I mean, it's forecast right now to be a tropical storm also when it gets to the
It may
Keys.
not turn into formally a hurricane, but it's a lot of...
It is a hurricane right now.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yee.
I think it's like a Cat 1 right now.
Elsa. Let's name it.
Elsa.
Name
Hurricane
her,
Elsa.
Name her the way she's named.
And but it's going to pass over Cuba, which weakens it a lot. And so it's forecast just to be a tropical storm when it gets to our house. But I would very much like to be there to deal with all the little things that need dealing with. But I have to go to physical therapy on the day that
and there may be a voodoo update. There may be a reason to bring him in somewhere. I mean, so it's better to keep up here. Stay up here.
Yeah. So Dad, it seems like is going to go down and do tropical storm life.
Oh no, I might have to drive to Florida and back. That would be
I'm
terrible.
like, you could fly. And he's like, or I could drive.
I like to
Dad
drive.
loves a road trip.
I do. I mean, it always gets a little painful after like 15 hours, but the first part's fun, and there's still fun parts. It's still a great concept to me to be able to just drive all the way down there.
I think it's great. So
very independent.
We're going to see. I mean, they do, the forecasts change a lot, and the track changes a lot, which we learned, riding out last year's hurricane season. Like, we'll be in the cone a lot, and then it'll, 2 days later, like it's like going to North Carolina.
That's right.
But so we'll check on kind of Sunday morning, and if we're still in the cone, then Dad's going to head down there. And so we'll have no dogs with you, but we're going to have some split snaps, so you'll be able to. And frankly, it'll be good. Like, we were planning to be back by then anyway.
Yeah.
So it'll be good to water the inside plants and
Sure.
check on everything. And
pick up the packages, whatever's lying outside, so it doesn't float away.
Yeah, for sure. See what our creepy neighbor has done?
Ugh, don't even.
She was gone for like 2 weeks before we left, so maybe she hasn't returned.
I think it was like a week.
Whatever. It was great.
We
could go outside without being spied on.
It was a relief for that the whole entire period, yes.
So anyway, we'll see what happens. So we're probably going to be up here for a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
With some hopping back and forth, maybe by driving. We have... So
It's a long story.
we got married in the Keys.
We did. We eloped.
We eloped to the Keys.
Kind of fancy elope, but eloped.
Yeah, it was... Dear Dad, as I have said many times, took a very long time to decide that we should get married. And when he finally decided, I was like, before he changes his mind, let's do it. So we were engaged for 6 weeks. We already had a vacation plan.
We were dating for like 5 years and then engaged for 6 weeks, which kind of makes sense.
I was
Total
like,
time is
okay, fine. You have proposed. We have a vacation planned in 6 weeks. Let's get married there.
It wasn't even that easy, though, right? Because we actually were planning on a big wedding. To include
small wedding.
But include family, and we were thinking of doing it somewhere where people could travel to.
We had talked briefly about doing it in Vegas.
All our relatives were kind of lukewarm on attending.
You're making this sound large. The plan had been parents on either side and your daughter, which is not a big wedding.
That's fair enough.
And parents, neither sets of parents were especially excited about coming, so we're great. Get married in the Keys.
Do it without everybody and just do it for us and just have it for you and me.
Cannot recommend that strategy enough. It was the best.
Yeah, nobody actually was pissed about it. So
it's kind of like, thank God I don't have to go to that wedding.
Yeah, it's not like
they both fucked it up the first time.
Well, that's something to keep in mind. It was the second time for both of us, so there's less enthusiasm less parental interest in the event. They've had one already.
We have to go again?
But the idea that it was just so nice to just do it for the two of us and not be distracted by having to host anyone else or to deal with the logistics of other people. I mean,
make other people happy.
Not in any bad way, but it was much more focused on you and me, and me and you. It was nice.
It was great.
Yeah.
So this resort is 10 miles from our current house in the Keys.
Right.
It's very close, but it's beautiful. It's a private island, and you take a boat out, and we have gone a couple times. They were closed for like 3 years after Hurricane Irma. They reopened in March of 2020, and then of course closed down again for COVID.
Unfortunate timing.
Opened back up. So we've gone a couple times. We just go for like 2 nights, right? Like one long day, and it's fine. And except during COVID, it got super. it's always expensive, but it was like 3 times the normal rate. Like we could not afford to go, and we're lucky enough to be able to afford to do it on occasion. So July, when nobody wants to go to Florida, it is more affordable. So we had, months ago booked, just 2 nights, right? 1 whole day on the island.
Thinking we'll drive the 10 minutes to the place,
right,
and go there, and then drive the 10 minutes home.
And so it's booked for a couple weeks from now, except my physical therapist wants me up here. Voods is going to have his stuff up here. So like timing wise, we definitely need to be up here for a couple more weeks. And so I checked, I'm like, maybe I can move this. No, no cancellations, no refunds. So we're flying from our house in DC to Key West, where we will then drive 10 minutes from our house in the Keys to the resort, and then we will fly back up here. So it went from a 10-minute drive to 2 plane tickets and a bunch of flying. But we've got it booked. It's going to be nice. I'll basically go to physical therapy on Monday. We'll do 3 days in the Keys with the dogs that are here. Physical therapy on Friday, and then we will turn around in the next weekend, drive back to the Keys.
Maybe.
Which we will then leave because the week after that we have a trip planned to New York. Just a same thing, like 2 nights, quick little trip to New York. Oh, it'll be fun. We'll go get dinner. Bought the plane tickets already.
It's almost like we need airplane miles or something. Like this is a weird way of getting more miles, the most possible
This
miles.
is where if we had finished our flight lessons, it would be paying off here because you could just be flying around back and forth.
But not in the weather, right? You can't
That's the problem,
do
yeah.
it if there's storms or, this is, we started realizing that these, in the small planes, a 2-day trip can take a week or it can take...
No, it's not good
6
for
days because you may not be able to make the trip in one shot.
That's right. A commercial airline can take off in a tropical storm just fine when there's 30-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, that's
25-mile-an-hour winds.
That's fine for them. Yeah.
And that you fly over it, but you can't in a.
Especially for us, we weren't instrument certified, so we'd always have to fly around clouds. Yeah. And so it changes the whole thing. But we had a flight instructor who was trying to fly to like Minnesota, and it took him 10 days or something.
Yeah, and he was a Navy pilot. Like he can fly anything.
It's just the plane didn't work. You can't fly through a thunderstorm.
Yeah. So you're right. So anyway, our life has become logistically very complicated, and I just want to get back to the Keys. Like it's very nice being here, but
one trip, and all of a sudden it's a freaking
just
odyssey.
Like I want to be back to the ocean. Like one of the dogs got us up at like 3 this morning. I think Voods maybe needed to go out.
Of course it was Voods. He was bored in his sleep.
I thought it was like 6 because it was so bright outside. It looked like it was dawning. That's just how light it is here. In the Keys, it is 100% dark.
It's like street lights here.
And there were clouds, right? So like the lights reflected off. Yeah. And I was like, in the Keys, this would be like just before dawn. It's this bright.
False dawn, yeah.
Man. Anyway. So send your vibes at Elsa, preferably to dissipate so nobody has to deal with her. But if not, maybe just takes one of those sharp right turns and spins out into the middle of the Atlantic.
I think that's a waste. If you're going to send vibes, concentrate on Jen's butt and send her vibes that her butt gets better.
Ingo has just asked the internet to focus on my butt.
I mean, I do a lot of it, and apparently my brain power is insufficient to fix your butt. So everyone manifests a healing power onto your butt.
One thing that I will mention, if you don't follow me over at Jen Runs with Dogs, is that, Voodoo was supposed to have his surgery, and it's a kind of 12-week process to get fully healed and cleared to do whatever. And so basically, as of kind of July 1st, June 30th, I've launched Operation Pinto Bean, which is a 12-week do the thing you haven't been doing project.
It's just a great name.
Operation Pinto Bean.
We love calling him Pinto Bean.
Yep. So for me, Operation Pinto Bean is to like stop eating like it's the pandemic, where every food is just designed to emotionally comfort me, and start eating a little bit more like an adult/athlete, like get some vegetables in there, fruits. Which
is actually easier up here because it's easier to get food here than in the Keys.
But some people are like, I'm going to get my house cleaned out. A lot of people are like, oh, I will run a 5K at the end of this. They're starting the couch to 5K. Yeah. It's actually really amazing. So I like do these little tell me what you're doing for Operation Pinto Bean posts, and it just started, so you can still totally join in. And people are like, here, today I like made sure I drank enough water, or I finally called my physical therapist back, and I'm going to start working on this thing. So it's like actually really inspiring, all these people who are like, yeah, I just needed a push to do the thing I've been putting off, and like 12 weeks is time to like really make a change.
Yeah.
So you will be going on this journey with Voods, which is, is it changed a little bit, his journey? It's now get his anemia sorted and then also get a surgery.
Yeah, and don't feel any pressure, because all Voods has done so far is shaved little bits of fur off his legs.
Tiny steps. You got 12
Baby
weeks.
steps. He made boots with the fur, and he can sing that song.
So there you go. Operation Pinto Bean over on Jen Runs with Dogs.
And 12 weeks is long enough to really do some stuff.
Do a thing. Yeah, you can make a big impact on your life in 12 weeks.
Yep.
Lots of people doing weight loss, but it's not really a weight loss challenge, though.
It could be a mental health thing. It could be like
like you're gonna
read
meditate
this book,
every day.
or I don't know. It could be something.
Yep. Operation Pinto Bean.
Pinto Bean. He's such a Pinto Bean.
Oh, speaking of which, he has a song
Bean.
now. Yes. So it's the songs for the dogs just naturally evolve. I do not force the songs. CBGB songs.
She's in the house. I don't know.
So there's a new song for Foods, the Pinto Bean song. So it goes, Pinto Bean, Pinto Bean. He is my dog named the Pinto Bean. I love my dog named the Pinto Bean. Pinto, Pinto, Pinto Bean. And I do a little dance on the Pinto, Pinto, Pinto Bean. He loves it. I love it.
He does wag.
Pinto Bean, Pinto Bean.
He does wag.
I love my pal named the Pinto
And it avoids
Bean.
saying voodoo, because he's associating that with food now. Like if we say that, he
Foods,
usually
foods.
wants
He
snacks.
comes for that. Yeah. Did he lift his head up?
No, we don't want to trigger the vood movements and the sneakiness.
All right, you got a German word of the week. You were going to do Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, have we done that before?
We have not.
Okay.
I'm quite positive.
Declaration of Independence is called the Unabhängigkeitserklärung. You just jam it all into one word.
It's one word.
Well, yeah, it's the word of the week.
We've done some phrases before.
Erklärung is the declaration or explanation.
Yeah, that's a word that,
And
I know.
Unabhängigkeit is independence. Abhängigkeit is dependence. Can be like
Unabhängigkeit.
drug dependence, and then you put an un in the head of that, and it's independence.
Unabhängigkeit Erklärungstag.
Unabhängigkeitserklärung. No, it would be...
Oh, that would be Declaration of Independence Day. What's just Independence Day? Unerklärungskeittag.
Unabhängigkeitstag, but I don't think you'd say that.
Unabhängigkeit.
I think you say Unabhängigkeitsfeier. I don't know what they call it in 4. Juli. Yeah, I don't know what they call it in Germany for Americans. I didn't look this up.
The Google Translate Independence Day says Tag der Unabhängigkeit.
Well, it's Day of Independence.
And so I started typing Independence Day, and it suggests completions on here.
Will
It
Smith.
suggests Independence Day party supply, which I don't know if it's a thing, but it's just Unabhängigkeitstag Party Versorgung.
Versorgung.
Versorgung. Is that supply?
Yeah, but it's not. I mean, is that all one word?
No, it's 3 words.
Oh, so
Unabhängigkeit Party.
but Unabhängigkeitserklärung is one word.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unabhängigkeitstag. They made one word, Independence Day.
And the German word for constitution is better. It's called Grundgesetz, which is basic law.
Oh.
Like fundamental law, which sounds
ground,
cool.
right? Is the first
Grund can be the ground. Yeah, it can be soil, but it's like the fundamental, right? It's the fundamental law, which sounds better than constitution, frankly. It's
Google Translate tells me Grund can mean ground.
Yeah.
But it also can mean reason or cause or foundation.
Foundation is this sense. Grund can be, the reason you did something could be der Grund.
Yeah.
Oh, gib mir den Grund dafür. Gib mir den Grund dafür.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good one.
Grundgesetz. I think it's a more descriptive term than constitution, but there you go. You know.
Yeah, I like it. Okay.
But I'm German. Did we do the other Tisaki? They found some body parts.
Was it bones?
Bones, yeah, in Marathon, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was like in a wooded area of Marathon, and having run every road in the Keys, I was like, there are no wooded areas in Marathon. And then it's like, oh, Marathon actually kind of extends up into some undeveloped
It was
parts.
like a block.
But no, it's like 106th Street. So it's just like a little lot, like
an
overgrown
undeveloped
lot.
Yeah.
They found some bones.
But they were older bones. But
Yeah.
they were human bones.
Human bones.
Human bones. And then they keep finding packs of cocaine.
A lot of cocaine these days.
I'm sorry,
A lot.
suspected cocaine.
That's right. The field test positive for cocaine, and it is a powdery white substance.
I know we did it last time too. That continues though.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to add? We
No.
should-
Happy 4th to everyone. Have
Yeah.
a good. I mean, things are changing. I don't want to say normalizing. Changing. Getting a little less freaky.
Is this the
sometimes,
Giardad
someplaces.
commentary, social commentary corner?
No, I think there's some reason for optimism.
That's
all.
good coming from you.
Yeah, look.
Don't blow anything up.
I don't mean social commentary. Yeah, maybe cool it with the fireworks this time. Isn't it just good to have a big barbecue? Well, that's
Okay.
pretty celebratory.
And if you haven't been vaccinated yet, go get one. And until next week, don't bite anyone unless they ask you to.
That's right.
Bye.
Bye.